Why, hello there. Welcome to the Clown Brothers Show's episode 5, the Squid Games season 1, episode 2. I'm just so excited to get this started. Not really, because there's a lot of darker elements that I don't want to be involved in, but I think Skullo has something to say before we continue.
Really, Reddo? We had talked before this. Do I really have to do this?
Why, yes. If you do not, I will just leave right now and we won't do this episode or any other ones. So I bet you better get to talking.
All right, fine. I guess I'll have to formally apologize for my behavior at the end of the last episode. The after credits thing. I'm sorry, Reddo. Now, can we get back to my favorite show, the Squid Games Season 1, Episode 2, actually named Hell?
Why, yes, now that I feel a lot better about what we're doing and I got my big red gorilla, we will get started with this synopsis review of the Squid Games episode 2. I'm just so excited, as you can be, about this show.
Well, I am very excited to be continuing this show, and we start off with all of the pink minion people putting all kinds of boxes into infernos, because basically what they're doing is they're burning all the bodies of the people that died in red light, green light. I just wish I had the capital to run an operation like this.
Well, I'm glad that you don't. But then after that, we go back to our characters, and they're all in this dark room, all sitting together because of the horrors they just faced. And they're all like, what do we do? But then our main character thanks all of the people that helped him out, his friend that he knew before, and the big strong man who helped him survive by grabbing him and holding him before the robot thing killed them.
And then the jumpsuit people come in and tell them how many people had actually died. There was 255 people that had died in the first game, and now there's only 201 left to play whatever the next game will be. Ooh, I'm just so excited to see what will come next.
Well, me, not so much, and it seems like a lot of the people there, because they start crying and begging for their lives and asking them not to die, and then the people in charge are like, well, you signed up for this, it was your choice, there were 3 rules, and then the really smart guy, the friend of the main character, brings up the fact that in the third, if they have a majority rule, then they can end the games. So the people in charge say, all right, if you want to do that, we'll go to a vote, where it'll be a democratic vote, and the majority will win, and if they will decide if they will continue playing or stop playing the game.
Right, and they obviously should continue playing the games, because didn't they all sign up for this? They gave their personal information, they decided to do all of this crap, and they signed the waiver, really? You all asked for this. You took the card from the guy that slapped you, and you took his money, so you all put yourselves in this position. There's nobody else to blame but yourself, but then we have the vote.
Well, and right before that, we are told that because of the people that died, each one of them are put at I think 1 million won apiece, so at the end of the day, the prize is 25.5 million won. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of money, I think, in Korean currency, but I wouldn't put my life on the line for that.
Well, I might, but I don't know, because I can't figure out the currency thing. But moving on, then, some people change their minds, they vote, and it keeps going, and they're voting, and then it comes down, and they do it in reverse order. So our main character starts, because he's the last number, and it goes through all the numbers, and it gets to the end, and it's equally at 100 apiece, meaning that there's 100 people that want to stay, and there's 100 people that want to go.
Right, and then it comes down to the old man, number 1, to decide the fate of everybody here. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that it came down to the old man who has the brain cancer. Oh my goodness, I can't take it.
Right, but then he decides that they will end the game, so it's 101 to leave and 100 to stay. And then all the people that want to stay are begging, but then they're all just told, well, there might be another opportunity to play the game a little bit later on.
Well, hopefully not, but then the next scene is where we have the main character and the girl being thrown on the underpants onto the street in the middle of nowhere, thrown with their baggage of their personal belongings, I believe. So what these people do after they've been, decided to end the game is, I guess they're all put into vans and then thrown on the street naked. Well, half naked, but still, that's very, very rude and very weird. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah, well, at least these weird people are people that were. They let these people go, for crying out loud. If I was put in the simulation, I wouldn't make it a choice, but moving on. So then after that, the guy wants his money back, but she doesn't happen to have the money, so she just goes off on her thing, and then he goes off on his thing, and then we keep moving along with the storyline.
Yes, and then we end up with the main character's friend who was at MIT and has a lot of money in debt, and the strong man. And they end up actually at a gas station because the strong man needs to use a phone to call people to get him like a ride or something. And then the smart guy friend character, he needs to charge his phone. But that's when you realize that he's getting a bunch of texts and calls from like the police for over something. I don't know why, but he allows the strong man to use his phone and actually gives him money for a bus ride. Isn't that great?
I guess so. I don't know. But then we go to the scene where the main character, he goes to the police and is like, all this crazy crap has happened and that you need to call this number and we need to stop all this because 200 people have died. But the police are like, wait, they had you play a kid's game and then they offered you money and then they let you go? What kind of weird crap is this? So they just tell him to get lost, obviously, because, I mean, in reality, if you told these people that you were told to play kids games for, like, money and if you didn't win, you died, I don't think anybody would really believe that. I'm just saying.
Well, what I'm saying is that I might believe that, but I mean, I don't know. And then we have the scene where basically he goes home and his mother's not there, so he assumes that she's working. So then he goes on the street and then he runs into his friend, the one who I guess has a lot of debt and helped out the strong man. And they start having a conversation, and that is where you learn that he is like 6 billion won in debt. Oh my goodness, how does anybody get that far in debt? I mean, really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you keep spending money that you don't have. I mean, he even puts his mother's house and, like, fish shop on sale on the market for all of his dealings to try to get, I don't know, big money. But then he's lost everything, and he's at his last stretch in life, and then it's just sad for him. But I mean, I don't really care because he put himself in that predicament. How am I supposed to feel bad for somebody that put their own self in this situation?
Well, that's very mean and unempathetic. But then the main character gets a call and his mother is in the hospital. She has had diabetes for a very long time and needs surgery. But they obviously don't have insurance or the money for anything that they have because he has given everything up to his business ventures and his gambling. It's just so sad for this woman.
Yeah, I guess. But then we are introduced to a new character that's coming to the storyline. A detective for the police force whose brother has mysteriously disappeared. So now he's investigating and trying to figure out what happened to his brother. And when he goes to his brother's apartment, he finds that he has the same card that the main character has. So now he's gonna go on a hunt to find his brother.
Wow, isn't that a great brother, Skullo? I mean, wouldn't you do the same thing for me if I was in this situation?
Nah, man, I'd have to think about it first, see what the cost and the benefits for me is, because at the end of the day, I am number one in my world.
Wow, Skullo, that really hurt. That really hurt. Fine, we'll get back to the storyline, to real love, actually. Where then we cut to the girl, and you find out that her brother is in an orphanage because she can't pay for them to have a normal life, and that the parents are still like in North Korea for some reason, and that they're from like North Korea, I think, and that's why they're in this situation, and the poor boy is being bullied because they say that his parents are coming for him, and the sister tries to reassure him, and that she'll have the money and everything.
Right, and then we move on to the next sequence where the detective is trying to figure out where the main character is so that he can have a conversation with him about the cause and everything. And then we cut to the strong man going to his place of work where he got injured. It's like, where's my money, man? Where's my money? And the person in charge is like, well, I don't have it. And then he has a wad of cash. So the strong man ends up doing the one thing he can. He takes the money from him and accidentally crushes his boss's hand so that he may at least have some money since he's like broke from all the medical bills and everything that he's had to pay for. At the end of the day, you know, it is what it is.
Well, it's just so sad that people are put in these situations. Then we go back to the girl, and she's going to meet the agent that's supposed to help her find her parents in North Korea and everything like that. But then their money that she gave him was stolen by these scumbags. So she threatens him and says if he doesn't help her, she will come for him and slit his throat. Oh my goodness.
Well, at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. So then we go back to where the friend of the main character, I forget his name, he basically is calling his mom up saying that he's like in America for some reason on a business trip and whatnot. And his mom's telling him like, oh, you know, you need to not get me anything. But then after, this woman comes up and she's like, oh, my son is so successful. And she's talking to a woman that's trying to buy a squid. But then the police come and they're like, where's your son? Because he's got a lot of fraud and illegal crap that he's done and we need to talk to him. And it's better that he turns himself in before anything bad happens to him. You know, because he's a full-blown criminal and an evident one at that.
Well, then in a very sad fashion, he says, I'm tired with life. I can't live on anymore. So he tries to do the one wrong thing in his life. But then his doorbell rings and he goes to it and he gets a card from the same people. He doesn't see them, but they give him a card and they say the same place at 12 o'clock, the same place. So now the new game is coming up and now everybody's getting this message and they must choose whether they want to go back or stay in their normal lives.
Right, and then we see the strong man with his family, and he's telling them that they just need to leave, and he's giving them money with the blood on it and everything, and that he's got something to do for work there, which I wonder what that is. But then we cut back to our main character, still being a low scumbag that he is. He's asking his one friend who owns like a bar to give him money, and he's like, I don't have any money, man. I'm strapped for cash too. And the wife tells him to get lost, basically.
Well, then the deadbeat leaves and he goes to like a convenience store and he's drinking, you know, and then he has a surprise. Number one, the old man, he reappears and he's like, I'm gonna go back into the game. He's like, really? And then they start this repertoire and the old man is such a nice old man, you know. And then now we're going to the decision of like the old man's gonna do it and now the main character doesn't know if he wants to go back because I guess they're all getting the option to go back and play the game again. I mean, why would you do that?
I don't know, Reddo, but all I have to say is everything that's happening to these people is self-inflicted. They have all chosen to play this game out and find out what's going on. So after that, then we cut to the criminal. I was surprised when we went back to his storyline, where basically he gets with one of his old cronies and he's like, I want to go and rob all these people of the money and pay back all my debts. But then his crony is like, nah, man, I just sold you out to the best, to somebody that you owe money to for killing a person. So he brutally murders that man. And then he runs off and disappears, jumps a bridge and disappears.
Right, I was so surprised by that scene. I didn't know we were going to go back to that character. But after that horrific scene, let's move on. Then we go back to our main character. He's going to his ex-wife and the mother of his daughter to ask them for money. And like, she's like, I'm broke. I only get money through my husband. And he's like, can you ask him for money? It's not even for me. It's for my own mother.
Right, and then in the middle of that, the stepfather comes and is like, what's going on here? And then the wife tells him, and the daughter sees that her dad left the umbrella. So the stepdad actually goes out there to the main character and is like, here's the money that you asked for. All that I ask is that you leave us alone. So the main character starts beating up the stepdad, but then the daughter comes out and sees it, and I bet it was a very scarring experience for this poor little girl.
Well, I mean, I can't believe it that he just punched him. I mean, it's just like, you want the money or not? So he doesn't take the money, leaves it with the stepdad, then he goes home. He starts going home all depressed because he is, you know, a piece of scum that he is. And then the detective shows up and is like, I know that you got this letter, and I know that my brother has disappeared too. I need your help finding him and discovering what's going on here. And the main character's like, no, I'm just done, you know, I'm just,
Right, and then we see, as the main character goes to his front door, he has a card that is to tell him to where to meet up, to be picked up to play the games once again.
Right, and then we have the scene where all of our main cast of characters are deciding to go back into the game. They're all willingly going into the vans again. I mean, why do these people do this to themselves? This is just crazy. Why would you go and subject yourself to this kind of a game? Even if it was for money, I didn't care. You know, your lives matter more than stupid monies for games for money, I mean, I don't know.
Well, Reddo, it's all down to their choices. Every one of them has chosen to play these games and have taken on the risks of their life to get this semblance of money at the end of the day, because that's what it's all about. Is getting all that won from all these people, you know, and it just is what it is. But then in the last scenes that we see the one where the main character, the detective, is following the car that has taken them. And then the girl, when she was getting gashed, she held her breath so that she could be awake during the whole process of moving them and whatnot.
And that is what concludes episode 2 of the Squid Games. Now, this one was a lot less violent, except for the one scene with the criminal that I, turned away from, but only it was one scene. And it's just sad that all these people were put in these situations. And now that they're going out and they're playing the games again, I mean, why? Why would these people do this? Don't they have families? Do they have people that care about them? Why would they suffer through this and maybe most likely die for this money? I mean, I don't know why.
Because they choose to do so. Now I'll go back into my review for this episode. Now, this was actually a pretty good episode to explain why all these people are going back to play this sick, twisted game that I love. you know, of like ruining people's childhoods, you know, the normal stuff that whoever's in charge of this does, the whatever his face is. So now we'll go kind of see what happens to all these characters. I'm very vested. I want to see what games they play next and what kind of whores are around the next corner, you know.
Right, Skullo. I mean, I'm ready to keep moving on with this show because, I mean, I'm just now invested in more characters, learning about their backstories and where they come from. Now, I really like the girl. Even though she's very vicious, she's like, a normal person. And then the strong man, it's just so sad that he was always put in this situation. I mean, this was actually a pretty good episode to make me care more. I wish he didn't do it. Now I care too much about these people. And now I need to see what happens to all of them next time.
All right, man. Okay, calm down. Hug your little red gorilla thing. All right, so, I guess, you need to do all the YouTube things now because, I mean, aren't we providing you great content? I mean, why not? Why haven't you subscribed? Why haven't you liked the video or left a comment? I mean, this is like 5 episodes in, so, I mean, you hopefully are watching. Now, I'm telling you to do all this stuff because if you don't, I will see you in your nightmares.
Well, okay then. All right, I guess I'll end this off on a better note than that. So yeah, dude, let's go to do all the YouTube things, support us, show your support through all the ways that you can, liking, subscribing, viewing our videos, leaving that bell icon on so that you can see the next ones that come out, the happy, fun, normal stuff, and hopefully one of these days we'll actually do something fun and exciting for me, where I'm not, having a mental breakdown every 5 minutes, but I'm just so excited that you came and watched our episodes. Isn't this so great? And I mean, I hope you all come back for more, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah, I think I lost a little bit there at the end. I mean, I just went to all my dark places, because if they're not supporting at this point, why not? They should be supporting us, right, Reddo? I mean, they should just come and see all of our content, They should subscribe, do all those things.
I know, Skullo, but people, they do what they want. It's a free country, free world. They can do whatever they want. They can support us if they want. They can hate us if they want. I mean, it's all up to them. I mean, why are you so, tangent on all of this?
Because, obviously, I want us to be seen. I want us to be heard. I want our opinions to be out there so that we can have a larger platform to be on. But we just need a lot of more supporters. And I'm gonna ask you this simple question. What are you doing to help us get more supporters? I mean, really?
Well, I'm doing all that I can, Skullo, and so are you. So you know what? I'm gonna leave now. I'm gonna let you deal with the camera crap and maybe video editing and do all this crap. I'm tired of dealing with your crap, so I'm gonna be out of here. Well, you can have a nice day, Skullo. I'll be out having actual fun, not your crazy good party bender crap that you do. Bye.
Why are you insulting my lifestyle, and why are you leaving now? Why are you leaving me to do all this crap? Oh my goodness.